Today's video is brought to you by our friends over at Aura, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever Google searched yourself and found that a lot of your information was out there and you don't really feel comfortable with your full name, medical information, health records, especially information relating to your family? Well, that's what our sponsor here, Aura, is about to help you out with. See, data brokers exist selling your information to scammers, spammers, and all kind of bad people all over the world. And Aura, the sponsor here, actually jumps in and files out opt-out requests on your behalf to make sure these scummy data brokers don't actually end up trading your information around. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been situations where AT&T, one of the biggest companies in the world, honestly, telecom-wise, actually had 73 million customer records, both existing and former customers, end up being leaked out, released on the dark web. And it's that information that data brokers pick through to find information on you that they can sell to nefarious people all over the world. So if you want to get rid of this kind of information and you don't want to waste your time filling out opt-out stuff yourself, go check out Aura. So Aura provides other features like antivirus protections, VPNs, password managers, and identity and credit monitoring, all in one easy, affordable package and plan, all without even downloading multiple applications as well. So if this interests you, stop data brokers from exposing your personal information, go to the sponsor aura.com/SOG and get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is actually being sold, and stop it today. That said, let's get to the video. Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and about a few years ago I made a video in regards to North Korea's operating system known as Red Star OS. Now at the time I made a video on Red Star 3.0, which is basically Mac OS but run by North Korea. Now this is one of the more insecure versions of Linux where obviously it was designed to basically restrict any form of access. It also came with instant watermarking tools, so if you tried to be a little shady person sending around flash drives all over North Korea, they would know. They would find out who did it, and they would send you to whatever gulag existed in North Korea or any of their satellite countries or friends around the world. Now today, I'm back covering Red Star OS because I managed to get my hands on Red Star 2.0, which is basically North Korean Windows XP. And let me tell you something, it is in fact a fever dream. Now to give ladies and gentlemen a quick idea over here, according to Beta Wiki, Beta, Red Star OS is a North Korean Linux distribution intended as a complete replacement for Microsoft Windows. Now, it's not uncommon. Plenty of countries actually have their own versions of operating systems that are detached from Microsoft Windows, the United States and a lot of its Western allies included. It's not necessarily a North Korean thing. Actually, I've shown you throughout my channel that there are Russian military operating systems, Chinese government military operating systems. A lot of these things really just run off of Linux, and that's because of the open source nature and the ability to modify the operating system to your choice. You can make it as free or as restricted as you want. So obviously when it came time for the average masses of North Koreans to use an operating system, designing your own was probably a lot better, and maybe it actually countered against any form of spyware which Microsoft may have planted in, or could potentially use against the Hermit Kingdom. And given where Microsoft is recently, with a recall and all the extra stuff they're putting in, maybe that is actually good decision-making, who knows? The operating system includes functionality that tracks and sends data of the user's actions to the North Korean government, as well as the ability to watermark media content on user storage devices with a serial number, which we'll actually get into a little bit. Access to several core Linux modules are barred, even if the user is logged in with root privileges. Attempts to disable the built-in lockdown functionalities may either yield error messages or force system reboots. So inside here, these green ticks actually show which versions of this operating system have actually been retrieved from the Hermit Kingdom. To understand, version 1.0, 1.1, 2.5, and the most recent 4.0 are still locked behind the Iron Curtain, so we can't really get access to it unless somebody breaks into North Korea and manages to grab an install image or the operating system files from a North Korean computer. And I don't know if that's ever going to happen given how tight-lipped the country actually is. But since I got access to version 2.0, you bet that we got ourselves a little virtual machine with it ready to fire. So here it is, boys and girls, after installing it, which the installation, thank God for translation software, which allowed me to understand exactly how to get things going. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, version 2.0. Now, obviously, I want you to understand I cannot read Korean whatsoever, so I'm going to try my best to actually just navigate the operating system and basically show you how close to the Windows experience North Korean Red Star really is. And after this, we'll basically look through some of its spying methods. Ooh. Woo! I think I might have to turn down the speaker there. I don't have the headphones in, so you probably got assaulted with that dual audio here. Now it immediately gives me this like little this little dialogue box. So I'm going to use the translation software on my actual smartphone just to basically read and translate exactly what's been going on the screen. So this error message right over here basically says Desktop Media Manager does not start. Now, I assume there's probably some error over here, but that's fine. That's fine. You can see the data is captured in 2024. And of course, it's got internet access. It's got actual audio support, as we all heard, and an exact red flag, which means that somebody in North Korea knows exactly what's going on here. So, in fact, reading this right now, it says application programs launched during the test may operate abnormally, so please complete the test. I assume this is just diagnostic software. So again, opening up the computer tab over here, you can pretty much tell that this is actually Windows XP. I mean, they really have captured the entire aesthetic of XP down to literally everything. You've got the control panel, you've got Microsoft Windows. I believe these are bookmarks or user directories. And of course, you've got internet or remote connections, so Samba servers and whatnot. But obviously, one of the first things I like to do is really modify my experience, okay? I want to make sure that this Windows or this system is exactly what I want. So here's some actual modifications. Here's some actual like desktop customizations. Let's see what actually the Hermit Kingdom allows us to do. So there's some actual styles. You get to, you can get a little dark mode if you want, which we might as well slap that in there. Oh, hell, that looks gorgeous. Actually, wait, that looks terrible. Oh, that looks awful. So again, back out of here. And again, this is an old version of like Red Hat. So trying to understand this isn't exactly the easiest thing. So here they've actually got icon styles from Windows Vista and Windows XP. They don't even give a shit. They just straight up distribute illegal assets, dude. They don't give a fuck. Well, let's change it to Windows XP, okay? Come on now. All right, let's get that old classic style. Oh, not that. No, not that. We can change to Windows XP here. And again, dude, they just distribute the Bliss wallpaper. I mean, this can't be legal. They literally just break the law. They're just distributing Microsoft assets. Now, it's interesting they don't have the Windows Vista, wallpapers, even though they give you the icons for whatever reason. So here we've got a wallpaper that showcases the North Korean army artillery ready to strike back at the evil imperialists. So if you're feeling a little if you're feeling a little combative, there you go. You've also got a beautiful field of flowers with a North Korean flag flying high across it. So very beautiful, very very intriguing. And of course, here's a different theme going on. No flag. Slightly darker, slightly midday. Oh, this is gorgeous, dude. Look at that. Look at that sunset. Dude, I tell you what, for such a dictatorship, it's definitely got beautiful, beautiful scenery. Here's a North Korean town. So you can see like a coastal town over here. You've got some cultural stuff. It's like Kyoto, but with a little more oppression. All right, so basic customization aside, let's actually browse through some of their applications. Now, thankfully speaking, I actually did end up getting some of the applications that they're basically known for. So for instance, I did in fact get the AppSet 2 folder, which allows it, oh my God, it literally is just Windows XP. Like, it's so shameless. So they got some actual programs for this too, which again, some of these are like actual antivirus softwares, which again, this is such an old version of Linux that it doesn't even matter if you try to protect yourself anyways. I actually doubt that anybody's going to attack this either. It's probably got some extra protections in its whole network just because of how monitored this stuff is. So again, if you actually look through the programs here, so to speak, you've got the initial, I guess, Red Star program, which this I believe is actually an update tool. So again, if I whip out the translation software right here, This is, in fact, adding and deleting programs. And this is system update. So the bottom is system update. And again, if you try to look for a system update, you actually can't find anything because it can't actually connect to the server. And in fact, right over here, you can see that the actual URL is osandok.inf.kp. So literally, if you try to actually detect this, you'll find that the renewal service is not available. So obviously you can't update this because I'm sure the servers have long since died for such an old version of North Korean operating systems. So there's another reason for why I can't actually update. I'm probably like, sir, there's probably a good chance that the updates are available even inside North Korea, but just inside North Korea. To give you an idea, because of how tightly controlled the information access is in the country, the Intranet is more commonly known as an intranet, meaning that internally North Koreans can operate and view websites that you and I can't because the actual internet service providers prevent external devices from connecting into the country. It's actually a certain case with websites, even within China, for instance, that just can't be accessed from outside the world. So obviously, if you look at the Kwangmyong, which is the network here, the Walled Garden National Internet Service, this basically operates in a private IPv4 address range of 10.0.0.0. So again, if you are in North Korea, you can access a lot more services, BBS sites, web pages, than the average person. If you do connect to a North Korean website, it is because the North Korean government has allowed you to connect into it through their internet service provider. Other than that, what they have internally is something that is of a great mystery to people outside the Hermit Kingdom. What is this right here? Oh, this is like a sound setting equalizer. So a lot of these this is just like the multimedia tab, so sound control. And here you've actually got some modifications. So you've got some magnifier tools. So that's the accessibility, the only accessibility tool, by the way. And then, of course, you've got the terminal right here. So they make it look like it's a Windows terminal, but it's really not. So if you do uname A, or not unit, uname-A, you'll find out, yes, the version of Linux we're on is 2.6.25-14. But this is all the way back from 2009, bros. 2009 is when this build is from. Jesus Christ. What is the USB option? What is this? What is it saying about admins now? Hold on. Scan this. What is this? The password for USB security manager admin is not set. Oh, so you can just set its password right here. So I'm going to do the ultra secure 123456. So hit OK, and this allows us, ladies and gentlemen, by using USB security, access to the USB media is allowed only to authorized users. Oh, so you can create like private USBs off of this as well. Jesus, interesting. All right, I want to see what the 3D option is. What is 3D here? 3D. Activate tabletop effect? Yeah, I might as well activate it. See what the heck the 3D. Oh, shit, we are crashing it. Oh, fuck. Oh shit, I just crashed. I just crashed the operating system, dude. Oh, that sucks. All right, you can't use a 3D effect, all right? I don't think the VM is supporting any of that nonsense. Jesus Christ. All right, obviously, I'm sure some of y'all would like to see, oh, did they allow some creativity over here and there? Oh, of course, they got MS Paint right here. Hell yeah, you can draw all the stick figures you want. I mean, this is literally just an exact copy of Microsoft Windows, man. Like, it is insane how just straight up they've basically copied everything off of here. So they've got PDF folders, they've got, what is this flower tool? They got generative AI back then? Oh no, I think this is just like an image viewer. I think it's all it is. They've got games. So obviously, you know, because we're some ordinary gamers, I think we all want to see what North Korean gaming looks like. So here we've got Korean Solitaire. Okay, fair enough. I was never good at Solitaire, so I'm not even going to try and pretend that I know what I'm doing. You know who's like an expert at this game? It's literally my mom. She's like the ultimate Solitaire player that I've ever seen. Like, she can just absolutely dominate this. So I'm not even going to try to continue Solitaire. Does it have like an Oh, it has like an automatic play feature. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, it auto-solves it. Dude, this is way better than Windows XP Solitaire. Windows XP Solitaire didn't have half the fucking features this did. This is amazing. All right, I'm going to keep that running in the background. What other game? Do we have some violent games by any imagination? You know, we've got we got tanks and everything here. So we've got what appears to be a question mark. Oh, is this like Korean checkers? Oh, dude, I can't play this. I swear they have like a version of this in like Yakuza. I sucked there and that, and I'm gonna suck here. Oh, what? Oh, is this like version 1.0 of the same game?
쓰세요.
Look at the actual animation, dude. That's so soulless and fucking creepy. That's so weird. Dude, the black eyes are killing me. This thing is so creepy. That's actual nightmare fuel, man. This is like a creepypasta. This whole video turned into haunted gaming real quick. All right, let's actually load up Minesweeper. I mean, you can't... Oh, this... Bro, they don't even care. This is just such a straight rip. It's actually insane. I have never had such a streak on my... Okay, yeah, I failed right there. That is the furthest I've ever done Minesweeper without actually failing. That is so crazy. It's so insane how close. Like, this isn't even like... Like, what's insane is that I actually have to imagine that they stole this. Like, this is probably a straight up stolen code from Windows XP. Like, the icons are the exact same. Everything is the exact same here, man. Like, it's not even a joke. They don't even care. Like, there's not even a joke in this situation, man. This is like the exact same version of Minesweeper that existed in like Windows XP Vista even. So what is this? Oh my god, wait a minute. Is this like Bejeweled, like Candy Crush or something? Oh, this is like such a shit version of it. There's like no animations, no nothing. It doesn't have any of the addictive qualities that the mobile versions have, man. You basically just have to kill whatever is connecting. Oh, wait, I'm number one? Muda, there we go. I wonder if this sent to like a Korean server somewhere. Like they just got a ding from version 2.0, like somebody is actually playing a game. What is this, an adventure title? Oh my god, it is actually an adventure title. No way. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I honestly would prefer going to a fucking prison camp than playing shit like this my entire life. You know, I feel like the games are intentionally terrible on purpose so that if you are actually procrastinating, it's just a way for you to actually get back and do your stuff. Oh, here it is. I actually won it. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Send another thing to the leaderboard, dude. I'm crushing the Koreans at their own game. Okay, so that's all the gaming right there. The last thing really here is obviously internet browsers. Now, this is a web browser known as Nainara. So we're going to actually open it up just to basically show you how this works. Now, this browser, Nainara, is translated to My Country in English, and this is version 2.5. So we're going to open that up real quick and just kind of show you how this works. So this takes us to user share doc HTML index. So this right over here is an introduction landing page to the browser. So this is about Red Star version 2.0. So this is basically like an instruction manual to kind of teach you about the actual operating system that you've, downloaded off from some shady site on the internet. So again, if you wanted to get like some ideas, so this is like the actual minimum requirements right over here. So you need like a Pentium 3 processor, Pentium 4, about 800 megahertz of actual CPU speed, CPU clock speed. This is the exact, you need the AMD 64, and of course 256 megabytes of actual RAM. So again, this is about on par with regular Windows XP, if I'm not mistaken, which is kind of weird considering we are using like a version of Linux, which is typically lighter on resources. But yeah, they're not joking around. This is in fact what printers that this device is compatible with. So if you wanted to print using Red Star OS, I would recommend never connect this to anything on your actual network. I don't know what this is doing behind the scenes. Chances are it's probably still pinging somewhere to a North Korean server, but the likelihood of that server still being active is probably little, but you never want to risk it. So up here, you can see that it connects to the Nainara BBS, which is like BBS for anybody that doesn't know. These are like old school forum messaging services where people can just share information around. Obviously, it would be very tightly controlled. And again, if you try to access it, for instance, it will just consistently try to look for a server. It won't actually make a connection because it can't make a connection because the servers are down. So if you actually open up this tab, the second tab here, you can see that it's connecting to an IP address known as 10.76.1.11, the Nainara browser. So again, with all of this stuff considered, we're just going to open a new actual, page right here. And I'm going to show you that this can actually connect to the internet. So if you go to google.com, you can see that, yes, we are actually connecting to the internet. And it's going to ask me, just let me find the permanently grant this option. So do this, hit check. And you can see that we actually do have the browser right here working. And because it's a Korean language pack, it's auto-defaulting me to the Korean language pack. So if I type in Mudahar, for instance, yes, let's search that way. It actually can search all the way on actual Google. You can, in fact, grab like my face over here and at least like save that if you, oh, hell yeah, dude, I can make that my actual wallpaper. Hell yeah, dude. Boom. Boom, look at that. There's actual full-on customization right here. Now, again, obviously, this is the extent of what you can do with Windows XP, but clearly North Korean. And again, aside from what we've just seen, this is basically the extent of what's doable on this actual system. So a lot of it is aping Microsoft Windows XP, and it's obviously designed to ape it just because this is what they wanted back home without actually, installing Microsoft's software, because I think a genuine fear that the North Korean government would have had is obviously if we're using American software, they might be able to actually, turn that against us if it came to surveillancing the actual North Korean state, which they were not willing to do. So they basically aped Linux and turned it into their own actual operating system with their own bells and whistles. So to give a quick idea of like covering Nainara, Nainara is the official web portal of the North Korean government. According to this Wikipedia article over here, it is the first website in North Korea. And it was created in 1996. So this is as old as the internet in of itself. Now, to give an idea, North Korea's intranet is more known as an intranet, meaning that it is basically an internal network that connects just the country, and any connections outside of the country are severely monitored. In fact, if only, I believe the elite are able to really access it. So government people and those who are high up and friends with those government individuals are able to access the internet outside of North Korea. For the average person, I doubt they could even get their hands on a computer, let alone a mobile device to leisurely do things in. So Nainara is actually a page that is still available, so you can access it, even change the language around, and it is just a website that gives you up-to-date information on what North Korea is doing. So the last posts were literally from this month in 2024. You can see Kim right over here giving actual ceremonies, man, goddamn. So beyond all of it, there's actually a list of North Korean websites that are provided by northkoreatech.org. And over here, you can see that they've got company websites, cultural websites, government NGOs, news and media, travel and tourism, and of course, university websites. So again, if you open up their company and business websites, you can see that they've got a pharmaceutical company, which obviously if we open it up right over here, you can access it not with the Nainara browser, but just accessing it through regular internet connectivity anyway. So these sites are a little bit slow to access, but to do effectively ping back, unfortunately in some cases it seems like for this, it just doesn't actually have anything accessible other than this one button, and that's it. All right, that was a bit of a swing and a miss. North Korean insurance company? Oh man, if it's anything like insurance companies, no matter where you go, they'll always exist to f the ass. So this is knic.com/K. This is the full-on insurance company right here. God damn. I love how no matter where you go on the website, the media is always filled with some North Korean, parade march for the military. It is always just in your face. And I don't even deny that most of these websites are literally all run just by the state. We will always be with you as a kind and benign friend. You're an insurance company, bro. There ain't nothing nice about you. Yo, look at these like Yakuza level pimps sitting over here running this company, bro. God damn. Dude, they're like mob bosses, bro. Mob bosses running it. Bro, they got PIF. PIF, the Pyongyang International Film Festival. Oh, bro, who needs Toronto International Film Festival when you got PIF? Now, there's a real wild story, actually, about, I believe the North Korean leader literally kidnapping a South Korean actress for, years from a film festival. just to have them portray their role in like North Korean propaganda movies. So film in North Korea is a pretty controversial past for sure. So immediately right over here, they got like the 2021 event like canceled because of COVID-19, but they haven't really like followed anything beyond all of this. You can like submit your movies right over here. 1,049 euros per person? Is that like a ticket to get in and watch the ceremony? Jesus, it's a film. Oh, that's an entire tour. 5 nights in the DPRK and 1 on the train. Oh my lord. Watch footage from previous events. Oh, dude. Oh, wait a minute. Dude, that's so wild. That's so wild. They hate YouTube in the West, but they sure love to use our server hosting space just to show their movies. I want to see what the directors' names are or something. Yeah, there's like an itinerary over here. Oh, we can't even access it, dude. It's so inaccessible. Look at that. They got the film festival form right over here, dude. You can actually write this form, give them your information, and just go and apply to the film festival. Wild stuff, man. Wild, wild stuff. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the internet of North Korea is still very much a hidden thing, and there's so many websites that are so inaccessible just because, like I said, it is an intranet. But one thing before we actually end over here is talking about how they actually spy on you. So insinuator.net basically made a write-up where they talked about how this operating system would watermark you. So this is more related to version 3.0, which we saw in Virus Investigations, and that was the version that very much resembled macOS. So here they actually talk about how this operating system would literally run some kind of virus scanner in this situation. And the first thing that came to their attention when looking at functions in that binary was GPS watermarking information. So again, all these informations: read document info, encrypt, normalize word information, private image processing, audio processing, get DCT, get image from DCT, and again, checking for things like watermarking. Obviously, it's designed to basically make sure that people who are using this operating system have some form of identification stamped onto their system. So when they were talking about this situation, one thing important is like when they were using the actual word processors, watermark for audio files seemed to be created by applying a custom filter. The OS seems capable of keeping track of which files have been opened on the system. This makes it easy to track on which system a file has been created on and which it has been opened. So privacy-wise, it's actually a massive deal. And obviously, if the North Korean government wanted to send a few guys and gals to spy on you and basically run some forensics, they can identify who's sharing files around. Now, normally, if you're sharing something innocent like a stick figure, probably won't get in trouble. But if you're sharing like dissenting, paperwork, if you're sharing like rebellious paperwork against the government, you might end up putting yourself in a prison camp or just straight up getting shot right in the back of the head. I'm just going to keep it right up front with you. To sum that up, creating and using media files on Red Star OS can get you in trouble if you are living in North Korea. Do not assume that the files can be kept private and cannot be traced back to the creator. Now, to give an idea, this is an image right over here of something known as machine identification code, which is something that was found in printers, right? So obviously when you printed a documentation, sometimes little dots like this were actually spread across the page. It would be pretty much unidentifiable, or, you might not be able to see it if you were just, looking at your paperwork like normal. But what this code was designed to do, based on a reverse engineer by the EFF, was actually to identify which printer and when this was supposedly printed. So you can see what the EFF did was they looked at these dots, and of course they had basically reverse engineered how they were actually printed in a fashion, right? So they found time, date, and of course serial numbers, which identified which printer or where which piece of hardware could be used. So the United States government, if they wanted to track somebody down who could have printed a piece of, like confidential information, sent it out on the internet, this is all something that would be used to help track down individuals. And again, a lot of this kind of spying technology is traced all the way back to the Cold War with the KGB, and of course the infamous typewriters that would actually have transmitters that would, again, serve as basically the world's first keylogger. Now, look, operating systems like Red Star have been cleansed allegedly from spyware, right? So where you can download OVA files that allow you to actually run this in a virtual machine. Now, the way that we did all of this is obviously we put ourselves, through various safeguards, okay, VMs,
You're talking about, obviously isolating your network. You're talking about, virtual machine or virtual private networks. You were talking about concealing your information as much as you can. But obviously, any OS connected to the internet can send back some form of telemetry. And clearly, I would have to imagine some North Korean server may have gotten a ping from my region of the world, or whatever region I set the VPN to. And that's pretty much just in general what you have to expect. So use this stuff with utmost caution. But to go back to the Intranet of North Korea, for instance, right? Obviously, one great article and one great write-up is from Size of Cat back in 2021, where they're basically tracking down as many of these North Korean IP addresses internally and connecting them to actual websites. So, for instance, the Size Tech Distribution Commission, which is 1030-7167, if you actually try going to it, obviously because we're not in the North Korean intranet, we can't access this. But there's a whole bunch of websites that we can't access but exist inside North Korea, obviously shedding more light into how the country operates. And again, it's stuff that I wish we could see. It's stuff I wish I could show you. But unfortunately, until I get access to a North Korean, network, maybe this will be a future video. And if I do make that video, it'll probably be my last video, because I'll have a bullet to my head from any North Korean state agency that doesn't want me leaking.
Now, would I recommend you use this operating system, ladies and gentlemen? No. If you value your safety and security, I would stay far away from using any of this stuff. Again, leave it to dumbasses like me to show you exactly what Red Star OS is capable of. Now, I really hope that at some point down the road, I can cover Red Star 4.0, or even the original Red Star 1.0. But realistically, the only other version we can look at is the server versions, which if you ever want to run a server using Red Star, well, it's available, it's there. It's probably just not going to be safe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.